Hey guys, it's Kimberly and today, can you believe it, the day that I am posting this is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is the very first day of 2021. It's so crazy. Honestly, 2020 has been the weirdest year, obviously for many reasons. Everybody I'm sure can agree, but to me, it felt like it dragged on forever, yet also it feels like it went in a blink of an eye. It was so weird. It's almost like it didn't even happen, like it wasn't even real. So crazy, but it's very exciting. I love the new year. I love to celebrate anything exciting. And yeah, today we are doing a roundup of some of my favorite items of 2020. So I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys all have an amazing new year. And the day that I am filming this, today is Wednesday, so it is New Year's Eve. I have something very exciting happening today, so I can't wait to tell you guys about it in my next video. But yes, anyway, let's just dive right into it and talk about some of my favorites. So I'm gonna try and go in the order that I would put these on my face. So we're gonna start with like a moisturizer, primer type situation. So the first couple things I want to talk about is this right here. This is the Glam Glow Moisturizer Moisture Trip Omega Rich Moisturizer. And I got this, I believe, in a BoxyCharm, and I absolutely love it. It's supposed to be one of those like cannabis infused moisturizers or something like that. But it smells interesting. But I just love the way it makes my skin feel and look if I put this on before I put on my foundation. So love this. And then my favorite primer that I put in is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. You guys know, if you know, for a while there, this is the only primer I was using. You can see, I don't know if you can totally see, but I pretty much hit pan in the center. I like went hard on this primer, and it's a really good primer, and I really, really love it. People say it's a good dupe for the Tatcha primer thing. I don't have that one, but I do really like the e.l.f. one. And then last but not least, this Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. This was recommended to me by my friend Callie, and it is fantastic. Recently, this is all I've wanted to grab to, and I put it on every time before I put on my foundation, and it makes your skin just look so smooth and glass-like, and it's amazing. So love this. Now moving on to the foundation category, I have a few foundations here to show you guys, and I'm sure if you've been watching my videos you know exactly what I'm about to lift up. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. It is so good. This is the dewy one, but they have a regular one, and it is so cheap and it is so good. And if you haven't tried it, go and try it, because for the price, even if you don't like it, you're not missing out. But oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I would buy this over a $50 bottle of foundation any day. I love it so much. And then next I have two foundations from IT Cosmetics. I really love their foundations. If you haven't tried out IT Cosmetics, because I know I like pass them up a lot of times when I'm in the store because they just look boring. They look a little like matronly, but oh my gosh, fantastic foundations. I have the Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream with Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum and SPF 50. This is the first one I tried and I fell in love with it, so I had to go and do this one. This was new this year. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation and Skincare. Improves bare skin in 2 weeks, and oh my gosh, it's so good. And this is like a thick consistency, and this is more of like a watery type of consistency, and they're both fantastic and I love them so much. Those are my favorite foundations, and I'm so excited about it. I like basically rotate in those a lot because they're just my favorite. Now we're gonna move on to some concealers, and I have 4 different concealers to show you guys. And these are pretty much the concealers I've been rotating through the most, that have been pulling me the most. And my oldest one that I have here is my Jeffree Star, what is this called? Magic Concealer, something like that. And I have the shade C7 and the shade C8, and I love them so much. The packaging is beautiful, the texture is perfect. It's on the thinner side, but it's very full coverage, but like a thin texture. Love it so much. And then I also have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. For the price, e.l.f. does it right, man. They do such a good job. I love this as well, and I like hydrating because I have dry skin. And then I have the Tarte Double Duty Beauty. Well, that's what it just says on the back. It's a Tarte Shape Tape. Come on, everybody knows what that is. This is like the most full coverage thing ever. I don't think I'll ever even be able to go through a full bottle of this. You need the smallest amount, and it blends out so beautiful, and I'm just like, I get the hype. I understand. I waited on her for a long time. I just tried her this year, and it's fantastic. And then the last one I have here is the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer, and I really love this as well. They all have a very similar consistency except for Shape Tape. The Camo, the Boing, and the Jeffree Star are all kind of thinner, and then the Shape Tape is like thicker for sure, but I love all of them so much. Now moving on to powder. I have 3 different setting powders here. The first is going to be Coty Airspun. I love this. I feel like you can't go wrong. It is, ooh, there's a lot up in the top there. It smells so good in my opinion. It's like very like fresh baby powder kind of scent, and I like that. And it's a classic. It's really cheap. It's a huge bottle for a really good price, and I just feel like you can't go wrong. It's so good. And then I have 2 more expensive ones. I have the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, which who doesn't love this stuff? I feel like it's so pretty, and it just gives like, I don't know, I feel like it makes me look like I'm glowing, and I just love it so much. And then the powder that I have not been able to keep my hands off of recently, and that is the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in translucent. I can't keep my hands off of it, and specifically with the puff. I've been loving the puff. This is what I used today, and I just haven't stopped using it since the day I got it. I'm so in love. One Size Beauty kills it. Honestly, they're so good. So after we powder, then we go into bronzer, and I have 3 bronzers here to show you guys. It's so hard to narrow things down, but I feel like I could pick out like 10 things for each category, but then we'd be here forever, and it's just, I don't know. I want to try and pick out a smaller little section for each of these and just really give you the things that, like, okay, what would I pick out if I was to do my makeup right now and had to go to a really nice event? These are what I would grab for. So the first one is this Aesthetica bronzer, and I've been using this so much that like the letters are wearing off, and I haven't even had it that long. I think I got this in an Ipsy, and this is the Aesthetica Sunset Bronzer, and it is just literally so perfect for my skin tone. I love the color of it. I love the way it performs. It's just incredible. Then I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I am like so dead on this one. I need a new one. I have hip hands so bad, but it is amazing. It smells like vacation. I don't even really like coconut soap so much, but that one doesn't bother me, and it definitely like puts me in the summery mood. And then of course, a classic NARS Laguna. I've been using this a whole ton. I used this today. I've been loving it. So those 3 bronzers are like my 3 go-tos. And then those are for powder, but then I have a cream bronzer. And if you know and you've been watching, this is the Sunlit Glow Silk Bronzing Base from Yensa. And this also just came in an Ipsy, and I am obsessed. You can see I made quite a dent right there, and I just love it so much. I am definitely going to try to get into more cream bronzers that are in a pot like this versus the stick. I don't really like this stick. I feel like it's hard to work with, but using a brush, I feel like I have more control, and I just really love it that way. So this is a amazing product. I'm so glad, especially because this is a brand I've never heard of and never would have tried, and Ipsy introduced me to, and I'm super glad for it because it is making it into my 2020 favorites. So super exciting. Those are all the bronzers. Now we're moving on to blush. First on the top here, I have a Milani blush, and this is in the shade Luminoso. Such a pretty blush, and it definitely has like a nice sheer, not sheer, like satin shimmery kind of a vibe to it, so I really like that. It's kind of glowy. There you go. And then this blush I'm super obsessed with, but this one's definitely matte. This is Beloved blush from Essence. The blush from Essence, all of them are so pretty, but I picked out this color, Beloved. Really love it. And those are so affordable. I think they were like $2 a blush. Crazy, and they're so good. And then I also picked out the NARS blush in Orgasm, because that is a classic. And I've really been enjoying these blushes that have a little, like, I keep wanting to say sheen, but is that? Yeah, sheen, not sheer, sheen. It has a little sheen to it. There you go. It's like, you know, glowy a little bit. And this one definitely is, along with the Milani one. Love it. And then I also have, this one's newer to me, but I've really been in love with it, so I wanted to add it. This is the Kylie Cosmetics Pressed Blush Powder in the shade We're Going Shopping. And you can see all the colors I picked are super similar, because I just really love that, and I like a good blush. So very exciting. Those are my 4 blushes that I had picked for 2020. And then when it comes to highlighter, I have 3 that I picked out First off, we have the Hello Halo Blush Lighter Duo, and this is in the shade After Sex Glow. This one on the left is my absolute favorite. I love that so much. It is like blinding, and for a drugstore blush, it's just incredible. And then I have, again, a Kylie one, which this one's also new to me, but I loved it so much. This is called Ice Me Out. I haven't stopped grabbing towards it. It's gorgeous. And then the highlight that I'm wearing today that I was obsessed for a while earlier is the Coca-Cola X Morphe Pop It Loose Highlighter. This is literally banging. I love this highlight so much. I feel like they did such a good job with this, and this absolutely had to make it into my 2020 favorites. It's incredible. So now moving on to the eyes, I have one single shadow that I just really wanted to show you guys. And this is fairly new as well, but it's so good that I like keep wanting to incorporate it into my looks, and then I'm like, I can't wear that for the 18th million time, so, ugh. But this is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow from the Raw Beauty Christie collaboration in the shade Mycelium. This is literally so beautiful. Like, what? It is gorgeous. It is so like wet looking, and you don't need a whole lot of it, and it just is so beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. Her whole collection was incredible, and it was kind of on the newer side, so I felt weird including it, but I had to include something because this is just like, every time I sit down, I'm like, can I put that in my look? I want to wear that. So yes, love it. And then I have a few eyeshadow palettes. Now I have an insane amount of eyeshadow palettes, and it was very hard to narrow it down, but I just tried to really look at all my palettes and say, what jumped out at me? What do I remember thinking when I got it? Oh my gosh, I want to use this all the time. So that's what I tried to do. And first off, we have the Morphe X Maddie Ziegler, the Imagination palette. I thought that this, and I still do think, that it's such a beautiful color story, and that it is so inspiring, and you can get so many different looks and so many different vibes from it. Very neutral, you have pops of colors, some more sultry colors. Like, I just feel like this was such a well-rounded palette and really, really cool, and I love it, and the quality is fantastic. So yeah, I had to include this one. I feel like as soon as I got this, I didn't want to put it down for like weeks on end, so love this palette. Next, I have the Glam Light Street Taco palette. Same thing, I like used this for a long time and did not want to put it down. It's such a small palette, but it is so incredible. And this was like the very first, was it the very first? Yeah, I think it's the very first Glam Light palette that I reviewed on my channel. And I love Glam Light. Their quality of their shadows is incredible. They're so pigmented and they blend so well, and they're just so fun, and I feel like this was fun. And for as many different colors you get in a small palette, I feel like you could make a lot of complete looks and they weren't just random colors. I just absolutely love this palette. I think it's so fun and so creative, and yeah. Also, fairly affordable too. It's not drugstore prices, but it's not as expensive as some of the more high-end brands, so I love the Glam Light palettes, and this one just really stood out to me as being a little special. Next, I have two palettes from Jeffree Star, the first being the Orgy palette. Now, I really love this because I feel like everybody needs a neutral shadow, and this is like just about every neutral shadow I could even imagine, and I love Jeffree Star's formula of his eyeshadows. I feel like they perform so well, and yeah, I just really, really love this. I feel like it comes in handy and everybody could use a neutral shadow, and yeah, it's just an easy go-to, especially on a day where I don't want to have to think about a color story or whatever. I can pop this out and just do a neutral look without much thinking, but I can still change it up because you can do something lighter, something darker, something warmer, something cooler, but it's all still just neutral. So I just thought that that was a really awesome palette and a staple, and I really love it. And now the palette that I probably was the first palette I got that I was like, wow, I can't stop taking my eyes off of this. And this is the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. This bad boy, this purple bad boy right here. It is just, purple is my favorite eyeshadow color. I love it so much. And this isn't quite as purpley as I thought it was going to be, or didn't have the tones of purple I imagined it would have, but then I realized I have a lot of those tones and I don't have these tones. They're off tones, they're weird tones, and they complement everything else so well. And so I feel like it's definitely different, but I appreciate that because it's something I don't already have. So I love this so much. This palette is fantastic. This shade Royal Pain and High King, those two shades are my absolute favorites. I want to use Royal Pain in everything that I do. It's so pretty, and I I don't know, I'm very obsessed with this palette. And yeah, the only thing is it's so inconvenient, the shape that it is and size that it is. I find I know everybody loves Jeffree's trunk packaging, and yes, it is very creative and very luxury feeling and very cool, but it is so inconvenient and impractical, but I buy it anyway. Here I am. And then my very last eyeshadow palette that I have claimed as my favorite for 2020. I'm sure you guys know what it is because I've talked about it multiple occasions. It is the One Size Beauty Visionary palette. I think if I had to pick just one palette for the year 2020, it would be this one. Honestly, it is weird to even say that because it is a very like whatever palette on the inside. It is very neutral. You know, there's a green, there's an army green, there's a royal blue. There is some like a little bit of fun in here, but it is fairly neutral. But the formula on these eyeshadows is my favorite formula I think I've ever used ever. It is up there with Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star, they're gonna battle it out, but this is so good and I cannot wait for the next palette that he comes out with. I am gonna put my hands all over that palette as soon as I can get it. It is so good quality. I love it so much. I like can't get over it. And anytime I just want to be effortless with a look, I pull this out because it is just, it's so easy to work with and the colors are so complementary to each other. There's like no thought involved and it's amazing. Amazing, amazing. I'm very proud of Patrick Starr, and I wasn't even a follower of his before he had his brand, and now that he does, I really like his personality, I really like who he is, and I really love his makeup. Everything I've tried is phenomenal. So this is my favorite palette of 2020. And then I have a setting spray. I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I love this stuff so much. I feel like there's not a whole lot to say about it. I just love it so much. I feel like the mist is nice and fine. I like that it's continuous in an aerosol. So good, and Morphe products are fairly cheap, so love it so much. Next up, I have 3 mascaras. First, I have the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal, right? Please tell me it's L'Oreal or else I'll feel weird. Oh yeah, from L'Oreal, good. This is so amazing. I feel like this gets your lashes nice and thick. It's from Drugstore. It's so good. Love it, love it, love it. I haven't used it a whole lot recently, but I feel like for the majority of the year, I was definitely using this pretty heavily, so it's really good. I love it. And then I also love the Maybelline The Rocket Volume Express Mascara. I don't think your lashes get quite as thick with this one as the other one. Actually, I know they definitely don't, but I love this. It's super black, and I feel like when you're gonna put on falsies, this is just a great mascara for them to blend together. It doesn't make your lashes look chunky or thick. They just make them nice and black so that they blend with the false ones. So love this. Also, Drugstore, super amazing. I've pretty much exclusively been a Drugstore mascara person up until this year when I discovered them. This is just a travel size, but the Bad Gal Bang mascara from Benefit. I actually have a brand new full-size one here, but I just don't want to open it yet until I totally scrape the last bits out of this one. But I am so obsessed. It is the first high-end mascara that I have been like obsessed with, and I don't think I'm gonna go back. It is fantastic. I think it is like this mascara, the Voluminous Lash Paradise, but on steroids. I think it's fantastic. I love it, love it, love it so much. And then I have one eyeliner. I have the One Size Beauty Point Made Bodacious Black 24-Hour Liquid Eyeliner Pen. This is fantastic. I love that it has this little like grip indentation here. It is so black, it is so pigmented, one swipe, easy to use. I love it so much. I'm like obsessed. I just think that One Size Beauty is fantastic. So now lashes. This year I discovered a brand called D-Star Lashes. If you don't know, but I'm sure you do because I literally mention it in just about every video. And I know that's probably annoying. I don't work with them. I'm a very small YouTuber. I don't work with anybody. So there's that. But they are so sweet. I have tagged them like on my Instagram story a bunch of times, and a lot of times they'll repost it or they'll message me and just like send me hearts and tell me that they appreciate it, and it is so sweet, and they have great customer service. They're just amazing people over there, and I really, really appreciate that they give attention to smaller people like me. I mean, if I think I'm nobody on YouTube, I mean, I'm really nobody on Instagram. I have like 100 and change followers, like nothing. And most of them I actually know in real life. So, you know, it's really cool to see that they're so supportive to somebody who means nothing, which is really, really great. So I could only imagine that they would be really supportive towards any of you out there who also maybe wanted to give them a try. I just think that they're fantastic. And on top of that, the lashes are amazing quality, and they're not as expensive as some of these other brands like House of Lashes and things like that. Those lashes are super expensive. Now granted, these aren't cheap, they're not Ardell's, but they're like $17.99 I want to say for a pair of lashes, and they say you can get like up to 30 wears out of them. And I will say I have yet to go through a pair, and I wear them constantly. And yeah, if you keep good care of them and you're just nice and gentle, they're totally fine. They last forever, and their styles are so beautiful and gorgeous, and the people are just lovely. And so yeah, I just want to talk about them. I have a lot of their lashes. I don't have all of them, but I have a ton of them, and they're pretty much the only lashes I wear. Those are my favorite lashes of 2020. But if you more specifically wanted to see a couple of shades, or not shades, but styles, I picked out 3 of them to share with you guys right now. So we have up first, Bernadette, which is super cute. I know it's probably hard to see with the glare, but they're so pretty, love them. And then next up we have Jacqueline, super cute, a little bit more like spacey and wispy, so pretty. And then lastly, I would say if I had to pick my absolute favorite pair of lashes, it would be this pair, and they are called Deborah. I love them so much. They have a little bit of spaces so they don't feel too like intense or heavy on the eye, but you definitely get that like a va-va-voom look, and they're longer on the edges and they're smaller on the inside, so they just give you that like fluttery, like cat eye look. Gorgeous lashes, love them so much. And yeah, I just love D-Star lashes in general so much. 2 thumbs up from me. And lastly but not least, we have lips to talk about. So I actually had a really hard time picking lips because I feel like I just got a ton of lips recently and they're amazing, but I wanted to pick ones that I feel like I was using for the majority of 2020. So I have 2 Milani lipsticks. These are amazing lipsticks. I love them so much. And we have the shade Nude Cream right there, which I love so much and have been using a ton of, and Teddy Bear, which is this one right here, which is a little bit darker but still a nude color. Both gorgeous lipsticks. They go on so creamy, they're so pretty. I just love them so much. And I feel like before I got the the Velvet Trap lipsticks, and I just got a ton of MAC lipsticks. Before all that, these were the nudes I was going towards the most, so I'm picking those to share. But if you want to know, Velvet Trap Naked Body, love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then this one is somewhere in the middle, not quite as new as the Velvet Traps, but newer than the Milani ones, to me at least. Not maybe to the rest of the world. But this is the Kylie Jenner lipstick in the shade Creme Brulee. Also loving this lipstick so much. It's much lighter of a nude, but it is so pretty, and again, extremely creamy, and this one smells fantastic. It is like vanilla, sweet candy. It is so good. Oh my gosh, everybody, that is all of my favorites for 2020. This is insane. Oh, well, not a makeup favorite, but a favorite for my channel is my camera that I'm filming on. I got this in 2020. I got this during the shutdown, during the lockdown. I got a Canon G7X. I have loved it so much. I feel like it has upped my game quite a bit here on YouTube, and it's helping me out. So I really love this camera. Love, love, love. Definitely a favorite of 2020. And another favorite is all my subscribers. I really appreciate all of you guys who have been watching me and subscribing. A lot has happened for me in 2020. I hit my 1,000 subscriber count here on YouTube, and so I was able to get monetized. I got my very first YouTube paycheck here in 2020, which is so incredible. I can't even believe that. That like blows my mind. So, you know, a lot of good things are coming out of 2020, and even though that might be hard to believe, I am looking towards the positive, and I have enjoyed this year of growth and of makeup. So yeah, I hope you guys all had an amazing 2020. I know that sounds a little you probably didn't, but I hope you guys can see at least one thing positive that has come out of 2020 for you, and I hope you've enjoyed the makeup you guys have been playing with in 2020, because, you know, that's what we're about here. But yeah, Happy New Year. Here is to a better 2021, and I will see you guys in the new year. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.